Well, hello there, and why is it so popular? What? Let's see, past hour. 8 minutes ago. Let's see. Why doesn't it have a muzzle? First time Reddit user here, so hello. Before we get started, I just wanted to clarify that this did happen a while ago, but it's still pretty clear in my memory as this doesn't happen often. I was made aware of this subreddit by my friend who frequents the site a lot, and it pushed me to create this account and tell all you lovely people about this little encounter. I'm going to warn you, I have no idea how to keep things short, so I'm really sorry if this drags. Oof. Okie dokie, let's get this started. So I'm a 17-year-old girl from England. Pretty non-confrontational and keep to myself. When I'm out, it's probably important to note I have bad social anxiety, as it explains how I reacted in this exchange. I don't yet have a proper job, but I occasionally walk my auntie's dog, which she insists she pays me for. This means I sometimes have to interact with people, as Chloe, the dog, is a gorgeous, friendly border collie who adores human attention, and often gets a lot of it. I don't know if I can link a picture with this, like I said, first timer, but hopefully it can grace you folk to her adorableness. The day in question was a regular Saturday, and me and my sister took Chloe out for a walk. We live near the sea, so I usually take Chloe there as it's her favorite place to go. There's also a smallish town close by that my little sister wanted to get something from. The shop she wanted to go to was only a little out of the way, so I agreed and said me and Chloe would wait outside. About 10 minutes passed, and a little boy stumbles out of the shop on his own. He couldn't have been older than 8. I'm a little concerned as he's all on his own, but I ease up when he notices Chloe. His face lights up and he starts to walk over. He looks up at me and asks if he can pet her. Side note, this is literally the best thing you can ask a dog walker/owner. Some dogs don't like to be petted by strangers, so please always ask if it's okay. I smile and say, "Of course." He gets on his knees and begins to fuss over Chloe as she's shuffling on her bum to receive said fussing. It couldn't have been more than a few minutes when the mother came out of the shop and stood by her son. I knew it was the mother since she came and stood right by us, and the boy smiled up at her excitedly. She gave me a brief smile and began tending to her shopping. At this point, I noticed the boy's hands inching towards Chloe's legs and began to panic. As soon as he starts stroking her paws, I quickly kneel down and gently say, "Please don't touch her paws and legs." He immediately stops and begins to pet her head again. I breathe a sigh of relief and start to get up when I hear, "Why can't he touch her legs?" I sort of freeze mid-stand and look up at her shocked. I'm used to people starting small conversations whilst they pet Chloe. Usually simple stuff like, what's her name, how old she is, and then they go on their way. Questions I'm internally prepared for, as I'm used to them, but I was not ready for this. I'm sorry? I stumble, not really understanding what just happened. She looks down at me like I'm mad and repeats what she said before. Why can't he touch her legs? I'm fully stood up by this point, and I shakily answer, "Oh, well, she's got very sensitive legs that can cause her a lot of pain when they're touched, and I don't want her or your son to get hurt." I'm not really used to having to explain this sort of thing, as people don't usually touch her legs, so I'm stumbling and stuttering as I say this. Anxiety's a boy. She suddenly gets angry and blurts out, "Then why doesn't it have a muzzle?" Excuse me? I, of course, have no effing clue how to respond to this, and helplessly watch as she grabs her son's arm and storms off. The boy gave me a smile and waved goodbye to Chloe as he was being towed away by his mother. My heart was racing and I began to panic, as I believe I was the one at fault. Yeah, it's stupid, but if you tell me I'm the arsehole I'm gonna automatically believe you for some sad reason. It took me a full 5 minutes to finally relax and process what just happened. My sister came out shortly, and I told her what just happened, and she immediately got peeved off. We continued our walk while she ranted about the woman, and Chloe got some extra fussing. We got back to my aunt's house, where my mom and auntie were waiting. Aunt. I also tell them the story, and my aunt goes mad. Chloe's like her baby, so obviously she'd be peeved. Time passed, and we all chilled out and forgot about it. It did leave me feeling It did leave me feeling a little more anxious throughout the day, but by the end, we were all laughing about it. No one got hurt, and Chloe was absolutely fine. This probably isn't the most insane entitled parent. Heck, I'm not even sure if she was an entitled parent. But when my friend told me about this, my mind immediately went to this event. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my little tale. This probably doesn't even seem that bad, but it shook me up and left me speechless and peeved me off. Sorry if it's a little long, and I hope you all have a great day. I will later. Let's see. I once had a boyfriend. Actually, let's see if we can have just new. Your phone looks cool. Let my kid have it. I never thought I'd be posting here, but here I am. I work in retail, specifically Walmart, and we have newer scanners that do kind of look like a smartphone. I was working in an aisle and was scanning my overstock as I went. I live in the South, where I didn't think too many entitled people live in general, let alone entitled parents. This EP comes up to me while the light is on my scanner and it beeps. This is our unfortunate conversation. Oh, wow! What kind of phone is that? Me. Oh, ma'am, this isn't a phone. It's a scanner. EP. You should let my son have it. He's such a good boy. He has good grades, well behaved, etc. Me. That's cool and all, but I can't give you this machine. I need it for work. Where's your manager? I want to see your manager. This is not real. Sorry. It could be, but automatically I'm getting what? No. I was just sort of okay, you want my manager? I'll go get my manager. So I'm in the back and I see my manager and I'm talking to him before we go to face the EP. My owl was right by the employee-only doors, and she just walked right through and saw me and my manager talking and started yelling and screaming at me again. Your employee is so rude. She won't give her phone for my son. Manager. Oh, that isn't a phone. It's a scanner. You can't use it as a phone. Not at all. EP. Just give me the phone, and my son is doing so well in school. You still can't have the scanner. EP and her son storm off cussing and freaking out, and me and my manager just look at each other like, wow. Unfortunately, a lot of people steal our scanners only to bring it back when they realize it has zero phone functionality. Gets revenged. Wait, alright. Top all time. Oh, wow, this is the most popular one on the site. Alright, let's see. Alright, I saw this one already. EM almost kills her child because she wanted him to ride a ride he wasn't allowed to. Tries to press assault charges against me. So I've been lurking for a bit and decided to share my EP story. This is going to be a long one. How long? Not that bad. We've read longer on this channel in the past 2 videos. When I was 16, I worked at the amusement park in my city. It wasn't a big one, but it was small. But it wasn't small either. Most of our rides were aimed towards elementary school-age children, though we had a few for the older kids as well. Anyways, I was a rides operator, and that day I was assigned to a ride designed for older kids. We had to measure the kids, and they couldn't go on if they were under the height requirements, no matter what, even if they had a parent with them, because it was a ride that only had a bar that went across your stomach, so someone too small could easily fall off. That nearly happened to my brother at the fair. I had to heckin' become a human seatbelt for the kid. It was scary. Entitled mother, who we'll call EM, and her entitled brat, EB, are in line. And I can already tell the kid is going to be too short to ride without even having to measure him. He's pretty far back, so I know it's going to be 1 or 2 runs before he makes it on. So after I'm done loading, I tell EM that her kid is too short for the ride, and that they should go try the smaller version of it on the other side of the park. She looks at me with the dirtiest stare ever and just says, "We're going to wait here." Now, I have to run my ride because I need to meet certain times, so I don't argue. Time goes by and she's finally at the start of the line. I measure her kid and of course he's like 6 inches shorter than the height requirements. I'm sorry, ma'am, but your child is too short to ride this ride. I would recommend going over to the smaller version near the entrance of the park, though. No, it's fine. I'm with him. I'll hold him. She tries to shove me out of the way, but I'm standing my ground. I'm really sorry, ma'am, but we don't allow people under the height limit to ride this ride. The safeties we have on it just won't hold someone too small, and your kid could fall off. She then asked to speak to my manager. I get asked that quite a lot by EPs, so I give them a call and tell her to wait on the side while I load my ride. She gets very offended, saying that she shouldn't have to wait longer for her kid to ride this ride because I couldn't do my job. And at this point, I kind of just ignore her and move on. Ride run, my team lead gets there and talks with her and tells her that he's really sorry, but that I'm right and her child can't ride this ride. Now, at this point, EB is throwing a tantrum, and I mean, he is rolling on the concrete like a piece of bacon in a frying pan. And I'm trying my hardest not to laugh at this point. Anyways, my lead apologizes, offers her a skip-the-line ticket for the ride he's allowed to go on at the entrance, and leaves. Yam is trying to call down EB and starts talking to him. He gets up all smiling and happy and stands next to the gates watching me. Now, I'm not thinking too much of this at this point, so I start loading my ride again, which has a significantly less busy line, and I have a couple of empty seats on it. As I'm doing my security checks and getting ready to run it, EM taps me on the shoulder and thanks me for my help, which I found extremely odd. I turn around and tell her that it's really no problem, and she starts apologizing and telling me that she shouldn't have acted the way she did, and blah, blah, blah. I'm completely stunned, not really sure how to react, but I tell her it's no problem and to enjoy the rest of her day. I look back at my ride and realize that EB isn't standing next to the fence anymore. I'm starting to get weird vibes. I look around for him and he's not anywhere to be seen. I look at EM again, who has her phone out with her camera pointing at the ride, and that's when I knew. I take my keys out the ride and start walking towards it. It's kind of a swing type of thing, so I couldn't see the back from where I was standing, but I knew dang well EB has snuck on. EM starts panicking, asking me what I'm doing and why I'm not running the ride. I completely ignore her and walk to the back of the ride, and lo and behold, EB is sitting there and almost shoots himself, and almost poops himself when he sees me walking towards him. He didn't have the bar properly locked at all and would have flown right out as soon as I started the ride. Now I'm mad, and I mean mad. I could have gone to jail for manslaughter right here and there. I just look at him and very sternly tell him to get off my ride. He tells me he can't and he needs help, which is fair. I don't even know how he managed to get on in the first place. But I grab him and put him down, and he starts sprinting towards his mom crying. As he's running, he trips and falls down on his face. When he gets up, his nose is all bloody and his knees are skinned, which I knew is when I knew I was completely and utterly fricked. EM starts screaming like a banshee at the sight. As I'm running towards the kid to make sure he's not dead and to help him up, she runs toward me, slaps me hard across the face, and starts yelling for security. I'm absolutely and completely stunned at this point. Some security guards must have heard her screaming at the top of her lungs because they come running, and the exchange goes something like this. Security guard is SG. What's going on here? This girl assaulted my son! She threw him off the ride onto the pavement! Me. Excuse me? Did she really want them to believe I just yeeted her child 10 feet away from where he was sitting? EB, it's true, she punched me too. SG, do you want us to call the police? Yes, you need to arrest her, she's mentally unstable. I'm just dumbfounded at this point. My lead gets to the ride and asks what the heck is going on, and I tell him everything that happened in between sobs. There's one thing EM forgot to take into account though. There were like 15 people on the ride who saw everything, so they tell the police and the security guards and my lead and everyone else what happened, and EM quickly realized her error as she just started running with her kid in tow as soon as she saw people asking the other guests questions. They caught her pretty quickly, and I pressed assault charges against her. Needless to say, I handed in my resignation that same day. Edited because of some spelling errors. Well, I think that might be all for today, because I have no way of telling exactly how this long this is. Oh, it's a meme. Hippity hoppity, my child deserves your property. Oh, that's catchy. Alright, hippity hoppity, you now owe my son your property because he is at the top of his class. Alrighty then, I guess that's all for today, and I hope to see you all again soon. No, yeah, let's just scroll back up to the top. Was that Dipper? I thought, yep. My kid has been doing great in school. Whoa, this is worthless. I saw Dipper, I had to. But Mommy, I want it. When you pull out your phone, you're a little kid. You got games. Alright, well, I guess that is the best we're doing for today. And I really hope that you'll all be back soon and you enjoy this video as much as I enjoyed making it. See you next time. Bye!